Given all the discussion about isolation basketball and sustainability, given all the motion and pick sets that go in before a guy like Kyrie or LeBron takes it to the hole, is it fair to chronicle all isolation plays together?
I don't think so, but people they have different versions of isolation basketball. When you post a basketball, or nowadays guys are posting 15 or 16 feet and in, you call it a post up, but some people call it isolation. So, anytime you're playing below the free throw line, I think in 15 feet and in, I consider it a post up. And we post LeBron against matchups or mismatches, I think is good for us. But then also I think, the way they play of switching 1 through 5, you're going to have to play some ISO and one-on-one basketball, but you got to be able to attack early. And I thought LeBron and Kyrie really did that in Game 5.
Next row back.
Hi, Rick Nolan from the Medina Gazette. Will it be a priority to get Kevin going? Is it important to have him more involved offensively, or are we beyond that and he just has to handle that for himself?
Kevin was great. Defensively, he did a lot of good things. And, offensively, we had two guys that did something that hasn't been done in NBA history. Two guys scored 40 points in a single game. So there wasn't a lot of room or a lot of shots for a lot of other guys because they had a special moment. So, it's hard enough to win a game in a regular season and then to win a game in the NBA Finals and guys are focused on Kevin, not scoring the basketball. He did a lot of great things. Rebounding was down because he's on the perimeter. He's guarding perimeter guys. They play 5 smalls. So he's not going to be able to rebound the ball as well as if he's playing inside against a bigger guy. So Kevin was great defensively, and Kyrie and LeBron carried us offensively because they had, 2 very special nights.
Next seat.
Matt Medley, Metro Networks. With this series, feels like almost every game there's been different personnel, missing games, whether it's injury or a starting lineup change, suspension, and now another injury, changing the starting lineup. So just how difficult is that for you to kind of adjust throughout the series? And like almost every game you have to make a different game plan based on the personnel.
Well, it's not really difficult because they play small a lot. We know that's their money lineup is when they play small with Draymond at the 5. So it's not really a big difference of preparing for that.
Jeff in the back.
Tyronn, Jeff Zilgett, USA Today. Given this finals format, outside of between games 3 and 4, there's been 2 days off between every game. What are the advantages of that situation, and are there any drawbacks to that?
Well, the advantage is, guys get the proper amount of rest. I think also, flying coast to coast, it's easier on a guy's body. I thought last year, you flew back and then you had one day, then you had to play again. So, now with these long trips, you're able to spend the night after the game and then fly back so guys can get the proper rest and let their body recover.
Any drawbacks at all in terms of maybe wanting to play again after a victory instead of 2 days off?
I don't think so. I think with the long flight, it just makes it a lot easier, especially on your body. And by the time you get back, we have this day today, and then we play tomorrow. So I think it's good.
Dave
McMenamin, ESPN. Todd, before Game 5, the NBA entertainment cameras caught you speaking to the team, and you quoted Mark Twain in your pregame speech. I was curious where you got the motivation for that quote, person, or you read it somewhere, and when do you choose to add a little gravitas to your pregame speech versus just go to the matchups and things of that nature?
Sometimes it's needed. I don't like to talk a lot, but sometimes it's needed, and we just had a couple good things that I wanted to say before the game, and I don't know where I got it from. I've known about it throughout the course of my life, but as soon as I quoted it, Kevin Love's, he said Mark Twain. So, he knew.
Gary.
Coach, Gary Wash from Boston Globe. Obviously, you played with great players with Shaq and Kobe and saw how they were scrutinized, but obviously it's different now with social media. How has your relationship changed with LeBron since you've taken over as head coach? And have you suggested how he take the scrutiny, or do you let him handle that as obviously the games get bigger and the scrutiny gets more?
I let him handle that, and I don't think our relationship has changed. I've always been the same guy, up front, tell him the truth, and our relationship hasn't changed any. But, I let him handle it as far as the scrutiny and all that. I let him handle that.
Is it your relationship, big brother, little brother? Will you being the big brother since you're older, obviously? But I mean, how would you paraphrase your relationship?
Just being a coach, just like with everyone else. I just think, the guys take a liking to me because, I can relate to them. I've been in every situation you can possibly be in. I've been a starter. I've been off the bench. I've not played. I've been injured for a whole season. I've been in the finals. I've been on the worst team in the NBA. So every aspect of the game, I've pretty much been through it. And so I can relate to these guys when guys are not playing or when they're struggling with their shot or when a guy gets injured. So, I mean, it's just the same relationship I have with all the guys in the locker room. Nothing's different.
Over here in the front.
Hi, Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch. You're just talking about LeBron and Kyrie obviously having a special night the other night, and we know that they're special players. I just wonder how much you can bank on that happening. I mean, I know every game is do or die at this point, but do you worry about leaning on that too much, or how do you balance, you need contributions from everybody, but trying to get special nights from those guys?
Well, they're special players, and they're capable of having special nights. We know that. We've seen it before, and if they didn't have it going, then we would run other things to get other guys involved. But with those two guys just having a great special night, then we rode those guys a lot, and they came through for us.
Joe on the left.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Ty, you mentioned that before Game 5, you felt like that was a time that you needed to say something, and then you guys come out and win the way that you did. Do you feel like your guys now are comfortable and calm in this moment and that there's nothing else that needs to be said? They know what needs to be done?
They know what needs to be done, and I think they've seen the blueprint, of just being physical, being aggressive, and attacking the basket. You can't, like I always say, you don't play Golden State, you attack them. So we got to attack, and I thought the games we won, we really attacked. Last game, having 28 points in transition on their floor, it meant a lot. But I just think defensively, we really, we're locking in. We give up a lot of threes, because Steph and Clay would shoot it from anywhere. We can't be surprised that they shoot it 4 or 5 feet behind the line, But defensively, hold them to 42%, 40%, and 36% is great for us. We just got to, limit their 3-point makes, and I think we'll be fine.